And we are live. And we are live.
Awesome.
So far we don't have anyone that's joined us just yet.
That's okay. That's all right. Now, so I have a question then. So is this recording going to be saved or should I save it?
Yes, it'll be saved.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Marquita. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be getting started here momentarily. Hi, Edward Smart. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey. Uh-oh. One moment. Marquita, Edward Smart, Crimpton ATV, our moderator for the day. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to get started here and welcome our guest, Miss Gloria Riley. Give me one moment, guys. All right. Hey, there we go. Can you hear me okay, Gloria?
I can.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, if you want to be able to see the chat, Gloria, you just need to have a device, maybe your phone or your tablet. You just
Okay. I can see the chat to the right on my screen.
Okay, great. That's good then. That is good. Okay, well, we will go ahead and get started. I don't want to keep you too long. Thank you guys so much for being here. I so appreciate the support. You all know Pandi is trying new things going forward in the new year. So I have been experimenting with bringing on guest panelists to come on and talk with us about the various services that they offer in the community. And Miss Gloria is a professional finance planner. I believe she'll be able to correct me on that. She's an entrepreneur for sure. And today I brought Believe and Prosper series that's online. So, Miss Gloria, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself to us and telling us a little bit about what it is that you offer.
Thank you so much for having me on Pandi's Hair, Candy, and More. So I'm Gloria Riley, and I'm just so delighted to be sharing the screen with Pandora. I am an entrepreneur, financial planner. I have an insurance agency, and I've written a book. The book is over a year old, and it's about finance, and it's really unique because I'm blending the principles of finance with religion. Well, I really won't call it religion, but I'll just say with the Bible, what is true about the Bible as far as it relates to our wealth, our budgeting, our finances. And as an entrepreneur, I also have a CBD business. So I consider myself to just be a well-rounded individual that will use my gifts to help others. So that's my whole objective, is to be able to add value to others by just, exercising the gifts that I have with the world.
Okay, great. Thank you. Introduction. I have a couple of questions that I have prepared for you. So I'm going to jump right
Okay.
into those questions. And also, I have a little video clip that I want to share really quick of Miss Gloria Riley's business. Let's play that and then we'll jump right into these questions.
When we talk about walking in his authority and love, what are we really talking about? Okay, so
All right.
Awesome.
Awesome. So thank you guys again for
Yeah.
being here. I really enjoyed that little video clip. We are also going to talk. Let me get it in the screen. We're going to talk a little bit about your book, which I have here. We'll get into that a little bit at the end, but I want to talk about what would you say has been the biggest factor um, as far as being an entrepreneur? What would becoming successful as an entrepreneur and business owner?
What has been the biggest struggle? Because you kind of went out a little bit. So my biggest challenge, my biggest challenge really is just as simple as it is, believing in yourself. Because we can all say we want to do X, Y, and Z. From the time we were small, little toddlers, we had a dream of what we wanted to do when we grew up. And then as we progressed and matured through life, it changed sometimes. So the biggest struggle is to stay true to yourself. Don't be influenced by naysayers or people you hang around. But then on the other side, it's really important to make sure you do hang around the right type of people, the people that would add value to your life, that will push you to the next level. So that initially was the struggle for me, is just to really believe in myself and not let anyone or anything talk me out of who I knew I was to become and who I wanted to become, and just stay on that path, because there's a lot of detours out there. But we have to remember to stay on the map, keep our path, and we will reach our destination, and just ignore those detours.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Thank you. That was very good. So my next
Thank you.
question is, what mistakes, if any, do you feel that you have made along the way?
I'm going to laugh at that one, Pandora, because I have made a lot of mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes. And I say that being proud about it, because a lot of times when you meet people that are quote unquote successful, or you think they're successful, they won't really share with you the mistakes they've made. They want you to think, I've always been this way. But actually, I have made a lot of mistakes. I've learned from those mistakes. The trials do make you stronger. The mistakes, you learn from them, and you don't. You definitely don't bring them up every time you think about taking another opportunity. So you don't like major on the minors. You want to major on the things that have made you successful. So I've made them along the way, and they have made mistakes along the way. They have made me who I am today. And I can sit down and share that experience with someone and maybe help someone who's going in the direction that they don't need to go in, because I've already taken that path. I've made that mistake. And I'm a believer that iron sharpens iron. I'm a believer that the older women are supposed to help and train the younger women. Likewise, the older males are supposed to train the younger males. So I'm all about helping someone get to their destination without making some of the mistakes I've made or others have made, just to be aware of those pitfalls because they're out there. You have to keep your vision in mind. You have to stay focused, and you know there are going to be detours, but stay on the path for your destination. And you will have everything you desire if you stick to your plan. And just forget about those mistakes.
Wow, that was advice, great advice. Now, really quick, you don't have any additional windows open, do you? The feedback, you
Let
were
me
breaking
see.
up a little bit.
Okay. The only window I have open is Facebook. Do I need to close that?
That probably is what it is. Yeah. You may need to close it while we're on here.
Okay, it is closed.
I think it's causing a
It
little
is
bit of
closed.
interference.
Oh, sorry about that. And then I have Yahoo open, which is the internet. Okay.
I think you should be
So
fine.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should be fine. You sound better. Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
wonderful.
so then I'm going to
Wonderful.
move on to the next question that I need. With regards to entrepreneurship, what would you say has been the hardest decision that you've had to make?
Oh, wow. That is such a good question. My hardest decision was I always knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. And I can go back to even quoting the age. I was about 8 years old, and I was playing in my room, and I had a typewriter, one of those manual typewriters. You probably wouldn't know about that because you're younger than me, but I had a manual typewriter. So I always knew that I was going to be in business just from that experience as a child playing. Now, growing up, fast forwarding, when I have three sons, by the way. So after I gave birth to my three sons, it was hard for me to go back to work. I just didn't want to be separated from my sons. I wanted to stay there and do all the things that mothers do. At the same time, I knew that I had entrepreneurship birthed in me. So I had to trust a higher being than me to say it's okay to have children. It's okay to go to work. It's okay to live out your dreams. So that was the hardest thing. And the reason why it was emotional, because when you have children, you're emotionally tied to them by that bond. It wasn't so much about the money, the financial part, but it was the emotional side. So I've learned when you make business decisions as an entrepreneur, you don't make emotional business decisions. You make decisions that will be good for you in business. So that was like, to me, the hardest lesson that I had to learn. And that has come up several times. I can think of another big decision I had to make. I had a really good lucrative position, and I got dismissed from the job. Okay. So me looking at it, it was a negative thing for me because I went into a little depression because I was used to a certain type of lifestyle that I no longer had. But on the upswing, it allowed me to expand my
Right.
business to become a better entrepreneur and to own something that belongs to me that no one can take away from me unless I allow it. And that's the benefit of entrepreneurship, being able to grow a business and have your name on it that you can pass down to generation, and that you work and toil in something that's yours. And you will work and toil in it harder than any position or any job you'll have out there on Main Street. But at the end of the day, it's yours.
Wow. Wow. That was a really good answer. Okay.
Well, thank you. Good question.
Now, with regard to financial planning, what advice do you have for us if we started?
To get started with financial planning, this is another great question. I always tell people to start where you are. As simple as that is, to start where you are. So you have, you should have a bank account, and you should be monitoring your debits and your credits. And then you should have a savings account, and you should monitor how much you're saving. So in order to develop a financial planning background, you have to start planning what you want as far as your assets. Do you want to own a home? Do you want to own a business? Do you want to have a retirement account? Do you want to have a Roth IRA? I'll get specific. Do you want to have a Roth IRA? Do you want to have a will? Do you want to have a trust? Do you want to have life insurance? Do you want to own investment property? Do you want to be able to invest in other people's businesses? Okay, so you have to develop a plan of where you want to go, and you have to write down what you currently have. So you take an inventory of what you have. So if you have nothing to begin with, start with the basics, the checking and the savings account and the retirement account and your health insurance, your dental insurance, your mortgage insurance, your long-term care insurance and things of that nature. And then you start thinking, well, one day I plan on retiring. So can I accumulate assets now that will serve me when I get older and I don't have to work for that income? That income is working for me. So you then want to begin to have money producing assets that will pay you every single month. And that can total up to be what you're making while you were working prior to retiring. So talk about planning, you really have to think about what it is you want to achieve. That's where planning comes in. They call it financial planning, but we have to do the planning, and you can get an advisor or someone to assist you in developing a plan, to put it in writing, and then you monitor and keep track of your plan, and you implement it, and you review your plan once a year. So the whole purpose is we want to be able to have financial freedom. Financial freedom is having money that we need every day to survive come to us with us doing as little work as possible, because we made good decisions when we were younger, or good, better decisions now that will benefit us in the long run. So that's how I would start. And then the most important thing, whatever you learn from financial planning, share it with someone else. Teach someone else. Each one teach one, so that they can also experience financial freedom.
Awesome. So that is the breakdown.
Yes.
Now,
That is the
shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk about the book.
okay.
If someone like myself decided that they were interested in the book, how exactly can we use this book to assist us in doing our own financial planning? Like, if I'm to this, just what my finances are all over the place, I really need to take a more serious look and get things in order. How could I then use this book to kind of implement and get started?
Okay. Great, great, great. I'm glad you do have my book. And And it's his word about my finances. So this is a workbook, Pandora, and it will guide you in terms of listing all your assets, everything that you own. It will allow you to organize your budget, okay? And a lot of people want to be better off financially, but like you said, their bills are all over the place. They say pay, they have so many bills they have to pay every month. They don't have any leftover, we call it discretionary income, to invest. So you must get a handle on your budget. There's a piece in my book that talks about your budget. And after you budget what you bring home every month, your income, and then you pay your expenses that's going out every month, whatever is left over at the end of the month, that's the income that you can use to invest. Okay. So it's a workbook. You have to put all your data into these worksheets that I have. And then after you find out, well, I do have some money that I could actually invest, then you decide, what do I want to invest in first, one step at a time. And then we go from there. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, what if I don't have anything to get started with? You have to start somewhere, because if you make that excuse this year, you're going to have the same excuse next year. And I know everyone's level of income is different, but I've heard so many success stories of people, living in poverty and not having anything and becoming millionaires. So we already know that it can be done. So we just have to talk positive to ourselves, give ourselves some very positive self-talk. But the book will tell you about finding out what your net worth is. If you owe so much money and you own nothing, then you have a negative net worth. So income is based on what you actually own as opposed to what you owe. So we want to get out of the mindset of always owing everybody everything. So when we get paid at the end of the month, we don't have anything to work with because we owe everybody something. So we do want to concentrate on our debt. So you're going to list all your debt that's also outlined in the book, the worksheet, and you want to start eliminating your debt. So when you eliminate that debt, let's say, for example, you had a bill, a debt that was $250 a month. If you eliminate that, now you have $250 that you can invest in your project, whatever it is you want to acquire. So debt elimination is very, very important. So you're going to budget, you're going to list your income, you're going to list your debt, you're going to eliminate your debt, you're going to talk about your net worth, you're going to look at your spending. Because a lot of times now we're home, right, because of the current situation we're in. So we're not spending a lot of money on gas. We shouldn't be spending a lot of money on eating out. We may not be spending as much in the beauty shops anymore. We may not be spending as much in gyms. So that's money you can actually corral. You can take that money, and now you have a pot of money that you can actually invest because you're saving. So in every crisis, there's always an opportunity. So we have to change our mindset. This book helps you change your mindset. If you're talking about you want to be financially free, you want to prosper, then you have to have a prospering mentality. You have to stop spending unnecessarily and invest in yourself. So that's the whole purpose of the book. And then my theme, like you said, is imagine, believe, and prosper, because an ideal has to be imagined first. So you imagine you're prosperous, then believe. You have to believe in yourself that you can accomplish your goal, and you can turn your imagination into profit for you. I always tell people, believe that you're the CEO of your own self. You are the CEO of Pandora. I'm the CEO of Gloria. And then believe. You have to, if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will believe in you. So that's where it starts. So this book opens up a portal for you to believe in yourself and to implement a plan to get you from A to Z.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that detailed answer.
Oh, you're certainly welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, before I open up the chat, tell us where and how, if anyone is interested, where we can obtain your book. How will we go about getting it, the cost, and things of that sort?
Okay, good question. Good question. You can get my book at GloriaRiley.com. That's my website. Gloria, Gloria, Riley, Riley.com. It's streaming. And you can order the book from my website, and it's $14. So it's pretty reasonable. It's also a journal is attached to the book. So I want you to get in the habit of journaling what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want to accomplish. Because it's been proven when you put things on paper, then they become reality. If it stays in your head, it doesn't move anywhere. We're talking about moving things. So that's my website, GloriaRiley.com. You can also email me at Gloria@GloriaRiley.com. I also teach a class, and it's regarding the book. So if you're interested in a more intimate setting, you can register for that also on the site.
Okay, that is awesome. I'm really considering doing something like that for my members here on YouTube. So we'll talk a bit more about that at a later time.
Okay, awesome.
I think that would be a good idea.
Awesome.
So yeah, I want to thank you for this great conversation on today. I appreciate you taking the time to come over and speak with me and my chat family. And at this time, I am going to ask if anyone in the chat have any questions for Miss Gloria. If you do, let us know and I'll put them up there so that she can see them. This was really nice. I really appreciate you coming.
Oh, I enjoyed it. If I could say this for you while we're waiting to see if there's any chat. I am so proud of you and your channel and what you're doing. I think it's beautiful that you're giving of yourself to others and you're helping promote other businesses. And I know the blessing is going to come back to you 100-fold. And I just want to speak that on you right now. And it's been my pleasure to be invited to your channel. It's been fun, and it's nice to be able to share the information because a lot of times people don't want to talk about finance, or they don't want to, they don't want to really know or learn that they have to do something if they, do something to get to the next level. And people say that all the time. I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. Or we look at other people's success, but everybody's put a lot of work into getting to where they are now. And I just wanted to say that I can see that you put a lot of work into your channel, and it's wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, and I receive that right now because there's so much more that I want to do with it. And I feel like it's just my mind is going in so many different directions. So I have a vision. I know what it is. It's just articulating it and getting it done. So I thank you and appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And that's the other part of my business too. I do offer mentoring. So mentoring and coaching. And that's really just kind of giving back to individuals that are really serious about self-development, really serious about adding value to other people's lives. And it's no better way to learn from someone who's been there. And I think that's real valuable in a person's success, is to, like they say, iron sharpens iron, to be in the presence of others that have traveled where you want to go. And we've all had mentors, and I still have mentors, and they've helped me out a lot. And that's the fastest way to get from point A to point B.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Okay. Well, I am scrolling through. So far, everyone is just giving us kudos. It doesn't look like anyone have any questions at this time. Do you have any questions for me before we bring it to a close?
What's your next episode? What's coming up next for Pandi?
What is coming up next is I have a little segment here on my channel that is called Pandi's Weekly Recaps. And I've gone to bi-weekly doing it, grab all the viral trending stories and just kind of come and share them in my own way and get my chat family's participation, get their take on it. And we just kind of chop it up and connect in the chat. So I got that scheduled for tomorrow evening.
Awesome.
I have another piece that is called my medicine cabinet because I am a pharmacy technician. So I have an informational video scheduled for Monday. So I'm just constantly sharing information as well as hair and wigs.
That is just awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun and it's been a lot of hard work. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm so surprised. I thought more people would have questions, especially about the financial planning and budgeting. But if I can figure out a way to incorporate the journaling and the budgeting and maybe start in a group form with my membership, I think maybe it'll get a bit more engaging for everyone because we'll all be kind of doing it together as a group. I want to try to somehow implement that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds like a really good suggestion because I've had a couple of classes like that with different women's groups and it's worked out really good. And I know like right now, because of the current situation, maybe people don't really want to talk about their finances because their finances aren't looking all that great. And I always say, whatever, the way things look now is not the way things are always going to look. And we have to call things that are as they're not, so if if your finances don't look like they used to look, with a couple more zeros, in there, we have to just confess that it's going to get better. And so we have to move as if it is already there. That's where my book comes in, Faith to Believe. So that may be a reason why a lot of people haven't participated in the channel today because of the topic. Maybe their finances aren't where they want them to be. But that's when you really get started and you can become more creative in improving your situation. There are opportunities in every situation. We just have to start looking at it differently.
Okay. That's true too. That's true. And people replay as well. We do have a question from the chat and I posted it up on the screen. Can you see it?
Yeah. It says, what is a good way to start a talk with children about what you're doing as an entrepreneur so they'll understand why you are working so much? Well, you let them know that you're working hard for yourself. Anything that you do in life, anything that's worth doing, you're going to work hard at it. So you've just made a decision that you want to work hard as an entrepreneur as opposed to an employee. And then get the children involved. And this is an excellent question because when I was raising my sons with their father, of course, sometimes I would take them to the office with me. So they were actually able to see what I was doing. As they got older, I don't know whether they remembered it or not, Not until they got older, they're all adults now, they can sit and tell me, yeah, I remember you took us to the office and we did this and that. We were playing on the Xerox machine. I put his head on the Xerox machine. I made a copy of his head and, all these different things. But in actuality, they were learning the principles of entrepreneurship. They were learning that, yes, you have to work in order to achieve. Because we're not a society, this is my opinion, we're not a society that wants handouts. We just want an opportunity. You give us an opportunity, we can develop a system, a program, a business that will take care of our families. That's all we want. And that's going to require a lot of work. You have to develop a team. You can't do everything by yourself, so you have to develop a working team. So just share with the children why you're doing it, why it's important. And then you can say, I also want to leave a legacy for you. I want to leave this business to you. It's yours, of course, because sometimes we know parents want to leave children a business and children don't want to have anything to do with it. And they'll actually do miserable at it. So we don't want to give someone something that they're going to be miserable at it. But share with them, communicate with them, and tell them the importance of why you do what you do, and the reason why you do it, and maybe share with them that you would love for them to learn the basics of entrepreneurship, because they don't teach all this stuff in school like they did when I was growing up. They really taught a lot more about personal budgeting and finance. So they don't teach it. So now the parents have to teach it. So just be transparent with your children and just let them know this is why mom and dad is doing this. And this is the benefits of doing X, Y, and Z. So just, these little children now are so smart and so wise. They got so many young entrepreneurs now at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11. So by sharing that information with your child, they may be able to develop their own business. You never know.
This is true. This is true. So, in a nutshell, give us a takeaway. If I want to start today or start in the coming week, budgeting, doing a little bit better with my finances, what are some tips that you would recommend? Like maybe less trips to Starbucks, bring my lunch maybe instead of eating out. Like what type of tips do you want us in closing as far as getting us out with better monitoring our financial situation?
Okay. So in closing, excellent question, Pandi. What I would do is take a piece of paper and divide it in half. Okay, the first column is things that are important to me. On the second column, things that aren't so important to me. So everything that you write on the first side that's important, that's what you're going to work on. The things on the second column, you're not going to work on. So you may say, for example, the first column you might have wrote, what's important to me is eating healthy. Okay. So, and then maybe on the second column, you say what's kind of important is maybe going to Red Lobster once a month. This is just an example. Okay. So now we've divided up what's important. We're just going to work on this column right now. We say we're going to work on this column for the whole year. Okay. And if we finish it before then, that's all good. So eating healthy. So eating healthy, does that mean maybe I should have a garden? Maybe I should go to farmer's market. Maybe I should eat in more, not eat out as much. Maybe I should buy more vegetables, maybe not eat as much red meat, or maybe eat some turkey, ground turkey. I'm just getting real specific. Maybe I should eat some ground turkey, more vegetables instead of meat, maybe not eating mashed potatoes, maybe eating brown rice. So you get the drift. When you write down what's really, really important, you focus on what's really, really important. Then you start breaking it down. And then you say, well, how much is it going to cost me? You put a dollar amount on it. How much is it going to cost me to eat more healthier? Okay. And does that fit in my budget? And you kind of go from there. And let's say, so that's a food category. So let's say on your list too, it may be to take a vacation once a year. Go on vacation once a year. That's important to you. So Then you say, well, okay, that is important. So how am I going to be able to do that every year? Then you start establishing a savings account that's now a vacation savings account that you deposit money into every single month that now becomes your vacation account. And you're able to accomplish that every year. So you break down what's important. You list your goals. You're going to have long-term, intermediate, and short-term goals. And then after you have your goals, then you're going to break down action steps that you take to accomplish those goals. And then once a month, you're going to look at those goals. You're going to monitor them to see if you have achieved those or not. And if you haven't, then you got to figure out, why haven't I achieved those goals? Are they unrealistic? And if they're unrealistic, then you need to make them realistic. So that's how you start budgeting, planning, taking action, and making things happen. And that's how you actually get from point A to point B, because we want to implement our goals and our strategies for success. That help you?
All right. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Now, lastly, have a weekly, almost like a podcast, right? Imagine, Believe, and Prosper. We find
Yes.
you if we decide we want to follow and support you there.
Okay, so the podcast is, you can register for the podcast, on my website. And there is a small nominal fee each month. I think it's like $20, really, really affordable, $20 a month. And then you'll start getting information about the podcast every Monday. We do it every Monday. And then we'll give you information. And you have the opportunity to work with me and my team on a personal level. So that's kind of where we kind of get started. I have to learn you. You have to learn me. I have to trust you. You have to trust me. And then you have to trust me to the point as my background financial planner. And, you know, we we hold all the deepest secrets in the world. So we know everything about our clients. But that's just so we can help move you from point A to point B. A lot of times you have confidence in someone, you confide in someone, but they don't really add any value to you. You're the same as you were, 2 or 3 years ago. Well, that's not our objective. My objective is that you're going to be better off having gone through my program than you were before I met you. And if you're not, then you're wasting your time and I'm wasting my time. So time is something that we'll never get back. It's very, very precious. I put a high premium, a high priority on time. So my commitment to you is, once you tell me what you want to accomplish, is to make sure it happens. So you can enroll in the class through the website GloriaRiley.com and just click on, you want to join. Everything's taken care of right there. You can shop for it, you can purchase it, and then I'll be in contact with you.
Okay. Awesome. And then as far as social platforms, are there
social media,
Instagram, Facebook?
I have an Instagram, and that's GLO_Riley. So it's GLO_RILEY. So I'll share that one with you. And then you have the email. It's Gloria@GloriaRiley.com. A lot of people want to keep things somewhat confidential, so you can just also email me. But I post every now and then on Instagram. I'm like the quote queen. I love quotes because they're empowering, they're encouraging, and I tend to be a woman of God. So I'm going to quote more religious type things that I believe, inspirational quotes. And every now and then I'll throw in some from the coaching standpoint. But a lot of the personalized information I have to share, it's going to come to you personally. It's not going to be out there for everyone, because everybody doesn't fit the same shoe. You know what I mean? Somebody has a size 10, someone has a size 7. So I personalize everything for my clients.
Right.
Because I'm looking for immediate success, immediate change, immediate improvement. So I do a lot of personalization.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. This has been such a great conversation. Again, you all, Miss Gloria Riley is a published author. She is a financial planner. She is a coach and a motivational speaker. So I thank you again for taking the time out of your busy day to come with us and just give us some insight on ways that we can kind of start tackling our financial situations, especially in these. And with that being said, I suppose we will bring it to a close. Did you have any closing words for us before we head out?
No, I'm just so happy that we had the time to spend together and time that your audience were, they've been able to participate as well today. So I take I don't take anything for granted, and I just think it's been wonderful with with just sharing the time with you today. I really appreciate everything, and the people that have come in and have asked questions. So just say the best is yet to come. I love you.
All right. Thank you so much. And I love you too.
Okay.
All right, chatters. Thank you so much for joining Pandi Speaks today for this afternoon of empowerment with Miss Gloria Riley as a special guest. I am going to bring it to a close. I am going to show her video clip. Her information will also be linked in the description box if you want to follow her on the social media platforms that she has available. And after that, we will bring it to a close.
When we talk about walking in his authority and love, what are we really talking about? Okay, so
All right.
Bye.
Well, thank you again, Miss Gloria. I am going to close us out. Thank you all for joining to the books members. Good afternoon, everyone. Bye. Thank you again for joining. Hey, everybody. Pandi here.